Hey everyone, it's Chris here from Everyday Survival Gear, and today we are reviewing the brilliant Convoy T4. Why is this Convoy T4 so brilliant? Because it can run on primary alkaline AA batteries, and it outputs over 400 lumens. What flashlights on the market can give you such great runtime and such great output from two AA standard cells? You can go to any shop and pick up alkaline batteries right now and output over 400 lumens with the Convoy T4. That is great, and that makes it a great EDC option for just about anyone that is in the market for an EDC. You can give it to your friends, family, kids, and it will work for everyone because it's so safe to use. So I've done some testing for this light, and that'll be at the end of the video. At the end of the video, you can see me do a lux test, a ceiling bounce test, and an amperage test if you'd like to. I'll put that at the end because I know a lot of people don't like seeing that, so it's at the end and beam shots are towards the middle. So what makes this Convoy T4 so great is the batteries that it uses. Right now I've got in here two NiMHs that are 2200 milliamp hour cells. It outputs 430 lumens with those two NiMHs. That is great. But if you are also in the market to run this flashlight, you can just use standard alkaline cells, and that will also output 430 lumens. So alkalines and NiMHs give you the exact same output. Or if you want to get fancy, you can run it on 14500 cells, and that will output you 1095 lumens. So first thing first is the LED options. My one is running a luminous SST20 in a 6500K tint. That'll give you the highest output of all the LED options. You can get the SST20 in a 5000K and a 3000K tint. You can also get the LH351D, the semi, and you can get the nichier options in 219B, 219C, 519A. So you got plenty of options. You got no reason not to go out there and buy one of these lights for you and one for everyone in the family, and throw in some NiM cells and get them into the flashlight community and get them to like and subscribe on my videos. Yay! Overall, spec-wise, it's made out of aluminium alloy. My one is grey color. You can get it in a few different colors if grey isn't for you, but this gunmetal grey is pretty cool. It's got a orange pure reflector, which is the same size as the S2 Plus style ones. AR coated glass, stainless steel bezel here, and a reverse clicky. The driver does have a lot of modes. There's a 13 group mode driver. I'm pretty sure that's pretty similar to the biscotti style drivers. Not sure that it is biscotti, so I'm not going to say it until I know. But it does give you 13 group options. So if you were to give this light out to like a kid or something, you can limit the mode output. You can put it on like a maximum mode where it only outputs like 35% of the highest mode, just to keep it safe, which is pretty cool. Makes it pretty cool. Other driver features is it's got a memory mode. It doesn't have a reverse polarity protection. That doesn't matter too much if you're only using alkalines and NiMHs. It's a beautiful worry if you're using the 14500s, but not too bad. You just got to be careful because there are, a lot of other lights where you do run cells in series. So output wise, this SST20, the luminous SST20, hopefully you guys can see it. Probably not. I've got to let in a little bit more light. In the cold white 6500K tint, with the standard AA cells or the NiMHs, they both output the same amount of light. It'll happily output 430 lumens. That pulls about 1.9 to 2.6 amps, maybe even more. I was getting a few kind of like erratic results from the amperage test, probably because as the voltage drops, it has to draw more current to make up for the loss in voltage from the NiM cells. So that kind of makes sense. With the 14500 cells, it pulls 1.6 amps. So that doesn't really mean that much. But basically, with the AA cells or the NiM cells, you get 431.6 lumens, and it stays there pretty steady. If you watch the ceiling mouse test, you'll see it hangs around that mark for quite a while. And 7008 CD. And with the 14500, you get 1095.6 lumens and 15,840 CD. So it throws just about the same as a normal 3 amp S2 Plus. It outputs pretty much just the same as a normal S2 Plus also. Pretty darn cool, I say. So build quality overall is great. It's kind of like a different looking light. It does look pretty different to all the other Convoy lights. Long, skinny, and whatnot. It has a lot of like random knurling. The knurling here is pretty cool. It's a bit slick here. It doesn't have a clip. I think there is an option for a clip, but I haven't checked. I got my one second hand, so I didn't get like any instructions or anything or any clips or anything with it. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't come with a clip standard. So yeah, so AR coated glass, as I've already said, and the stainless steel bezel. So we might as well just take it apart and have a quick look around inside. So the length is 153.3 mils, so 15 centimeters long. The head is 27 mils in diameter, and the body is 21 mils in diameter. So when we take it apart, I measured the reflector to be 20 mils, so it's basically like a S2 Plus style reflector, which is great because you can change it from the OP style to a from the OP to a SMO reflector. The lens is actually bigger than a whole S2 Plus, so it comes in at 23 mils. The lens, so a little bit bigger. The MC PCB is 16 mils, so same size, and there's the luminous SST20 in cold white. And then the driver is actually a pretty fancy driver, as you guys know from all the battery options. It's pretty fancy, and it's 20 mils in diameter, so it is a little bit bigger. And I've seen what the drivers look like. They're actually like that long because it's a buck and boost driver. So when you're using the 14500, it acts as a buck driver. When you're using the NiMH, it acts as a boost driver. Because the NiMH output a little bit under 3 volts. Like a fully charged NiMH is about 1.4 volts, maybe a little bit less under load. So continuing on with the specs and the build quality and stuff, like overall it's great. My one's a little bit thrashed because it is second hand, but that doesn't really matter. You can use it as a EDC and then not worry about it then. No anodizing here. There is an O-ring here. There is an O-ring on the back too. The tail cap is anodized, and also the tail cap is a reverse clicky. You got a few holes there for lanyards, and you can tail stand it if you want. It is anodized there on the back, as you can see, so you can just undo it and lock it out if you don't want to accidentally activate the light. But it is a reverse clicky switch, so it should be pretty hard to activate it. And plus, if you rock it around like that, it's covered, so there's no chance of activating it like so. Yeah, so overall, the Convoy T4 is a brilliant light. I think it's good for anyone to own. It's kind of like the kind of light that you can leave around in your car, put it in your bug out bag, give it to anyone in your family, and throw in like 100 pack of cells. Actually, just buy them NiMHs. Buy them NiMHs and like a cheap charger. Go to IKEA and get the lighter and their rebranded Sanyo Pro cells. And like this thing outputs 430 lumens. That's great. That's a lot of light. One last thing that I didn't say is it does weigh 98 grams, so it is heavier than an S2 Plus, and it weighs 110 grams gross when you add the batteries. I think it'll weigh a little bit more than that with NiMHs, because the NiMHs are probably the heavier style cells. But yeah, overall, I highly rate this Convoy T4. We'll take it outside now and we will compare it to a few other lights and see how it does. I do have another light that runs on AA batteries here. It is a Coleman light that I've got a review on. I'll leave a link in the description for the original review of this. They both output pretty much the same amount of light with AA cells, so it'll be pretty cool to see how they do side by side. Let's head outside now, I guess. Alright guys, now we're outside with the Convoy T4. We've got the cubby house that's about 5 meters away from us. This is the lowest mode. It's on the 4 mode group set, so yeah. Bloody this camera, it always mucks up. It always gives me like the wider view camera and not the normal camera. They're both like 50 megapixels, but the wide view doesn't have as good like night vision. So that's mode 2. If we go to the yard in mode 2, you'll see it looks pretty good. It lights up the yard well. That's probably like enough light there. So we're at mode 3 now. This is probably what my LED lens of P7 used to do. This is probably around about 200 lumens now. That also ran on 2 AA's. That's going back now 12, 13, 14 years actually. Yeah, 14 years now. Wow. I think I had it in 2009. Whew, that's a long time ago. I'm getting old. Getting old. Alright, and here we go. The highest mode. 431.6 lumens, I believe. Somewhere around about there. I've been calling it 430. We'll just call it 430. And 430 lumens from this Luminous SST20. That the small LED being the Luminous SST20 and the S2 Plus reflector gives us a pretty defined hotspot, but also like a pretty wide beam still. So yeah, you can see it does flicker a bit. I had an issue with the Anyloop Pros that I own. They're Amazon ones, and they were outputting a lot less light than these cheaper cells. And I was thinking about it, and I probably had them since 2013, 2014. Maybe they're just getting old now, because the output was pretty bad with them. Alright, the head's starting to heat up, but I'll go change it over to the 14500s and we'll see how it does. Okay, so now we got the, what was that weird sound? Alright, so now we got the Convoy T4 on with the 14500 cells. This is the lowest mode. You can see it's definitely a lot brighter even in the lowest mode. So we can probably light up most of the backyard. 20 meters to the fence. That's mode 2. So yeah, that's already like a lot brighter. It's only mode 2. Mode 3. And look at that. That is bloody insanely bright. Mode 4. And there we go. That is very, very bright. I don't actually mind the green hue that's in these SST20s. I quite like it, but I know not everyone does. We'll try and go to the trees at the back above the house. Yeah, it makes it there. It's got around about 15,000 CD, maybe a tad over 15,600. I think I measured it as. So yeah, quite a lot of output with the 14500s. Would I personally use it like this? Well, I mean, I am right now, but I don't know. Those 14500 cells seem a bit dodge. If you've got brand name ones, it might be better. But yeah, quite a lot of light from this little Convoy T4. Pretty damn bright. Alright, we'll switch it up now and we'll try it against that Coleman flashlight and see how it does. Alright guys, now we're going to play Guess the Flashlight. This is that Coleman flashlight, the one that I showed you in the video. I have a full review on this. This is probably one of the best buys that I've ever made. I got it on Amazon on clearance for like $7 Australian. Runs on NiMH or alkalines. I've got alkalines in here right now, so it might not perform quite as good. This light does need NiMH, but I don't have a spare set that are quite as good as the ones I'm running in the T4. So this is the Coleman here, and this is the Convoy T4 to the left. Right Coleman, T4 to the left. So you can see the T4 is that little bit brighter, but you can see the tint difference too on the Coleman and stuff. Coleman's actually stepping down pretty quick. I can say side by side, I did like ceiling bounds test them, and the Coleman performs just as good as this Convoy T4, but you can't use it with 14500 cells, and it's only got 2 modes. But overall, it is a pretty damn good light. We'll turn off the Convoy. That's just the Coleman there. And the thing is, you know, you got to cycle modes like this to turn it off. And that's the Convoy there. So you can see the Convoy is still brighter. I'm going to have to redo this test when I get some better batteries, I think. Alright, so our final test is, this is the Convoy T4 on right now. And I got a little Fireflies, that's a stainless steel model. Fireflies don't actually name it, which is pretty weird. But the little Firefly stainless steel model is here. And that can either run on a normal AA or NiMH alkaline, or a 14500 lithium. So right now I've got the lithium in it, and this is the Convoy T4 with just 2 NiMH cells, and they're side by side. So the output is still higher on the Convoy. I did ceiling bounce test this little Firefly stainless steel, but yeah, I'll leave a picture up of the Fireflies so you can check it out. The cycle modes on the Fireflies. It is a nice tint, 219B I believe, a nice rosy tint, but it's nowhere near as bright as the Convoy T4, even though it is using a lithium ion cell. Not bad. Alright guys, so I think overall the Convoy T4 is a great buy. I'm gonna go up here for a sec. I think the Convoy T4 is a great buy. You know, it should be pretty sweet to hand to anyone and be safe enough and reliable that anyone can use it. So I think overall it's a winner. It's only around 20 something US dollars, not too expensive, and the build quality is great. I think overall, yeah, it's well worth the buy. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. This is the Convoy T4 with the NiMH cells. We're getting 26 lux, which equals 431.6 lumens. So quite an impressive output for two standard AA batteries. We also get the exact same result using alkalines, but the NiMHs will last a little bit longer than the alkaline cells in duration. This is with the two Trustfire 14500 cells, they're IMR cells. So we're getting about 66 lux, which is equivalent to 1095.6 lumens. So quite an impressive output with both these style of batteries, the NiMHs and the 14500 cells. You can see it's pretty stable. It's been on for like 20 seconds now, 25 seconds, and it's still stable at over 1000 lumens output.